Okay, we're back at one of James's properties again. So what is this then, James?
This is a 2-bed dormer bungalow. So I had to Google what dormer means, but it's basically a bungalow with a separate elevation. So yeah, this is our 8th deal, but 4th in the last 3 months.
Killing it. So yeah, let's
Busy.
have a look. This is the latest rent to social housing deal.
So as you come in on the left hand side, you've got the kitchen. So the provider, when they view this property, there's a few changes that they want to make. For instance, like these doors, the service user has got a tendency to sort of put his hand through glass and things like that. So that's all going to be changed. This door is going to be changed as well. So a real nice spacious kitchen. In this bedroom is going to be the major work. So when we spoke to the provider and they come to see it, they really wanted a downstairs wet room. So this was the perfect room. So we negotiated with the landlord, spoke to him about what they're intending to do, and he agreed. So this room is going to be converted into a wet room. So half of it is going to be the wet room, and then this bit is going to be the sort of step out sort of changing area, all their investment. So that's the biggest change of this property. All this flooring as well. The service user has got sensory issues, so all this carpet is going to be removed and all going to be tiled. In this room, it's the lounge. It's going to remain a lounge, but what the provider is going to be doing is putting a partition wall, and then the service user is going to have that as a bedroom and remain this as a lounge as well. So he's got the door through there so you can still access it. This service user is in a wheelchair, so if you notice on the front door, there's 3 steps coming up. He's in a wheelchair, so he's going to be accessing the property around and then into his bedroom. So he's got all this downstairs for himself. A real nice low maintenance garden as well, which is exactly what they look for. Just for, as I said, for the wheelchair access, come through in the summer, he's going to really enjoy it. And he's going to have a ramp to go up. Downstairs bathroom in there, which makes it really accessible to have that wet room in there because they're just going to plumb through. And then upstairs you got 2 bedrooms. One's bedroom is going to be for one member of staff and the other for the other. This is basically, the upper level is just going to be basically for the staff members. Bathroom upstairs as well. Bit of storage in here. Quite a lot of storage actually in there. Bathroom, and then the second bedroom. That's it. Very simple property. But this is exactly like what they look for. They're looking for like low level living with the service user, bathroom, wet room ideally. And then this has got the additional sort of second floor, and then they use their staff members for quarters then basically.
Yeah, okay then, James. How did you find this property?
I met a bloke in the gym. We started having a bit of small talk, obviously like what we've been doing in the gym and all the rest of it. Anyway, I always tell anyone I know or anyone I speak to, I always tell them about what we do. And
was it in the gym? It's not what you said.
No, it wasn't the gym. No, I met him in the gym, but we actually spoke about it in the sauna.
Yeah.
Bit of a weird setting, but
whatever gets a deal over the line.
100%, mate. Yeah. So yeah, I told him what we do. We work with supported living providers across Gloucester, and he was like, okay, yeah, really interested. He said, what are you looking for? So I said, well, I'm always looking for bungalows. He went, I've got a bungalow coming up. And I was like, oh, right, okay. So just before he left, he went to reception, handed his details over to the reception about what the property was, his phone number, his email address. So I picked it up and I come straight round to the property, had a look, dished it out to our providers. They had multiple viewings. They knew it could work, but they had to make some adjustments to the property. But yeah, they loved it. Initially, they loved the property, and they made the offer, and we went back to the landlord. He was happy with the offer. And yeah, it's gone from there, signed the contracts, and this is our 8th deal.
8th deal. And you joined me when?
I joined you in January 2 years ago.
Yeah.
A year and a half ago, something like that.
January 24.
Yes. 24,
yeah, and now we're October 25. So
yeah, 8 deals.
Nearly 2 years, 8 deals.
It's been a journey, mate. It's been a journey.
So if you can go back to the very start of your journey, you know, anybody watching these YouTube videos, like even the old version of you, what would you say to the old version of you? Knowing what you know now and what you've done. Yeah,
I mean, I said to you before, you said to me in my first deal that I wouldn't recognise the person who I will be in 3 years, and what, a year and a half, nearly 2 years later, and that's rings true, massively rings true.
What do you say is the main attribute? You know, what do you have that a lot of people might not have?
Work ethic, masses of work ethic. Yeah, I don't want to waste money. I never like wasting money. So it's the case, you pay for what you get, but you got to put in the work. You have to put in that work, otherwise there's just no point in doing it. I knew this is what I wanted to do in terms of property, so I found yourself through some Facebook, and I read some of the testimonials and videos that you've had on there, and yeah, it was an easy decision. It was difficult getting me over the line, mate, wasn't it? But yeah, we eventually got there. But yeah, you just got to go hell for leather. You got to make that investment, and then you've got to work at it to get it right and get that investment back at least. And if that's really what you want to do, then you've just got to go for it. But I was on the phones, ringing agents, having meetings, discussions. Obviously my strategy was rent to HMO, and we got our first deal, I think it was like 4 or 5 months later, something like that, which profits £800 a month. So I got my investment from the training within the first sort of 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And then everything's just paid for itself, and it's just passive profit.
That's the problem with social media. Everyone expects like instant results, don't they? Or they're 2 months in, and it's like, why have I not got my first deal yet?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, how many phone calls have you made? How many viewings have you been on? How many offers have you made?
Yeah.
You know, have you adjusted tactics?
Yeah.
Are you broad enough in your area, or are you just focusing on your doorstep?
Yeah.
Everyone starts to question the actual strategy, where really they should look internally.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you got some mentees that have had deals, you know, signed in the first few days of joining, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But you got other mentees who's waited over a year to get their first deal. It just depends how motivated you are, and if you're in the right area, you're doing the right strategy.
Look at Sam. It took him 8 months before he decided to JV with another mentee.
Yeah.
And then it took them, what, 3 months to get their first deal?
Yeah.
Which was a 1-bed flat.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah, and I said, do not take it on. But now these guys are the leading SA operators in the UK. I guarantee no one else is touching the revenue they do. And they're only on 7 properties as well. Yeah. Turning over 50k a month. So just because you don't get your first deal inside 3, 4, 6 months, it's like, just do the work, don't quit. You know, this is financial freedom. But anyway, we've gone way off track. Talk us about this deal. Like, so it got over the line. You collected the keys today, right?
Yeah, I collected them about 2 hours ago.
Yeah, so I arrived just as the landlord was leaving, and the provider is collecting them at 3:30 today.
3:30 today.
So that's in an hour and a half.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
That's how quick it is.
That's tell people about social housing.
So social housing is you have a provider who are looking after the vulnerable. They get government grants, they get council grants to look after these people. So the issue that most providers have been having is connecting the dots between agent or landlord and getting properties over the line. So that's where we come in. We already got these connections with landlords, with agents, so we find the property for them, knowing their criteria, and then we go find the property, negotiate it, we add our margin on top, and then we hand over to the provider. So they are large organisations who look after vulnerable people, disability users, high, low level complex needs, but the trouble that they've been having is finding the properties to scale their business. Unfortunately, there's such a huge demand for service users all over the country, not just our area, so they're always looking for properties. So that's where we come in, myself and Dan, and we find the properties they're looking for and we hand them over. It's for them to scale and for us to scale as well.
So you've had a really busy month, haven't you?
Yeah.
Walk us through, what have you been up to for the last month?
So we completed on a 4-bed high-end children's home a couple of months ago. There's this property. We've got a deal.
So that children's home, you can go and watch that video, is right here. Yeah, a month ago that was.
Yeah, a month ago. So it's been really busy. It's been relentless. So as I was saying to you earlier, we haven't made a phone call to an agent in months.
Yeah.
Our pipeline is just full of viewings, potential leads coming through, new providers looking for new deals. So we haven't made any phone calls. So we've had that children's home. Now we've got this one. We've got another 4-bed coming up that we've hopefully signing contracts for in the next few days, and then we've got a lot more in the pipeline coming up. Onboarding new providers, they bring new criteria of properties, so we're always looking out for new properties, new providers, just to give us that diversity of, because they could be looking for like 1-bed self-contained flats, bungalows like this, 4 or 5, 6-bed HMOs, whatever it may be. So to have more providers gives us more diversity to look at other properties.
Yeah. So you spoke to the landlord in the gym.
Steam room.
Let your imagination do whatever it needs.
Backs, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So you tell everybody what you do, don't you?
Everyone.
What's the benefit of that?
Yeah, everyone. So everyone I speak to, I mean, the gym's the perfect place, right? Because you have small talk and you build that up to, oh, what do you do for a living? Or what do you do for a living? And straight away I'm like, I rent properties from landlords. And straight away they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because it might not be like, they might not have a property, but their brother might, or their sister might, or their best mate might. So it's leading on from that, and then you just go into detail. It's not a common thing, but it's getting really well known, rent to rent. This is how we can bring the benefits and hands off, and all the maintenance is looked after. This is who they house. This is who they look after. You're doing a really good thing by providing a property for these people, and the conversation just leads on from that. And the gentleman who owns this property, he was like, yeah, I got one. So just by having that conversation in a steam room, just brought on our next deal.
Yeah, we're stood in the benefit of telling everybody what you do.
Yeah.
So social housing providers collecting at half three, then is it completely hands off for you?
Yeah, so it's a 3-year deal and they've got a possibility to extend for another 2 years.
Have you had to do anything to the property at all?
No. So we haven't. When the provider come in, there was adjustments that they want to make. So at the moment, the previous tenant had a office just opposite us now, and they wanted to turn that into a wet room for their service user. So they need everything on one level. So we thought that was quite a big ask to ask the landlord. Anyway, we did ask him, and he said, that's fine, it's not a problem. I understand why you need it.
But is the landlord investing? Is he doing
the provider is investing in everything in this property.
Yeah.
So there's £10,000 worth of work
just in the wet
room alone. Obviously, there's.
Why would a provider do that?
For long term, they earn a lot of money by looking after service users, and they can afford to do it to get the right property. Not every property that we give providers is perfect.
Yeah.
There's always something. There's always like things like this. They got to change this because they can't have glass in the cupboards. The wet room, the carpets, every property that we provide them, it's never going to come perfect. So they have to put an investment in.
So they're looking at the shell, really, and the 100%. Compliance side of things. So
yeah. They're looking at the shell, looking at the area, accessibility for the wheelchair users, things like that. How are they going to handle living in a property like this, and wider doorways? They're looking at absolutely everything. Things that me and you would never even dream of, like certain width of doorways that a doorway's a doorway.
Yeah, but they would invest to get it widened.
They would invest a lot of money just to make it perfect for the service user. Because ultimately they want the service users to live here long term. Yeah. And that's exactly what they've done here. They're going to invest a minimum of £10,000 in just one room to turn it into a wet room. The landlord's so on board with that. He absolutely loves it. I actually met the service users' family. They come around just to check where their son is moving into. They absolutely loved it. They could see how it would work. And yeah, everyone's on board, contract signed. And this is our 8th deal. So, but yeah, to answer your question, the provider invests. If it's like something like painting or decorating, and it's a bit of we can just do that, that's going to take us a day to do it, then we do it.
How much do you feel like, as a newbie, if this was your first deal, how much have you invested? Any money at all?
Nothing at all, no. So that's 2 deals now.
Yeah, no money invested at all?
No money at all.
So how much is this going to profit you?
So this one is going to profit a little bit less than what we used to. So this is $550 a month.
Yeah, but that's passive, right?
But that's completely passive, yeah. Completely passive.
3 years.
3 years.
Up to 5 years.
Potentially 5, yeah.
So that's still 15, up near 20 grand profit for doing just what you've done in the last month. Yeah. The provider who's taken this property on, we've known them for a couple of years. We've sourced property to them, but we haven't really been able to make our margin on a property and to rent it out to him. But this one is the first one, but it's a long time coming to work with these guys, and it's something that we've always wanted to do because we know how big they are and how big they want to scale. So yeah, we was happy to take a reduction just to get this one over the line for them. So yeah, I mean, our minimum's really sort of £600. It's like 50 quid. It's nothing really, is it? For completely all we're doing is a bag of shopping.
Yeah, exactly that.
Well, actually, that's probably up near £100 now.
Yeah, probably, inflation, yeah. But really, for all we're doing is emailing, had a conversation in the gym with a bloke, a couple of viewings, negotiating it, contracts. If you consolidate all of that, I would say it's like 2 weeks, if that, of work for £550 profit each month for potentially 5 years. Yeah, and isn't there an opportunity to extend for another 5 years after that? Yeah, so after the 5 years, if both parties agree, they're happy to extend again. So what was you telling me earlier about the landlord of this property is now looking at his pension pot to buy a property to lease to you? Yeah, so this is very new to him. And to be fair to me, he wasn't dubious at all. He could see the benefits straight away. But I was talking to him earlier and he was saying, I've got a large amount of money sat in a pension pot. He said, what are your clients looking for? And I said, bungalows. I said, every provider in our area is looking for bungalows, somewhere where they can, obviously, disability users, people with wheelchairs. And he said, okay. He said, he's going to start to have a look at buying a property and he's going to hand over to us. Yeah. But and it makes sense to do it because he hasn't got to worry about maintenance issues. He hasn't got to worry about bills. He hasn't got to worry about tenants' complaints. It's just completely passive for him. And we're actually paying more than the previous tenant was anyway. Yeah. Before. So it's a win-win for him. So he loves the idea. He loves the model, and he's going out now to have a look at other properties to buy. You said you haven't made a phone call in months. Right? No. Why is that? Just our pipeline's so full. Yeah, why is that? Just because we've been networking. We've been massively networking in just anywhere really. It doesn't have to be an event as such, but just getting our name out there and telling people what we do, it just leads on to other things.
Yeah, at the start, so you said it took you, what, 4 or 5 months to get your first deal?
That, yeah.
That's building, that's kind of
the foundations
of your business. It's like, call me. When you have a property, company let, can I come for a viewing? You're getting out there on the map, aren't you?
Yeah.
And now you're on the map.
Yeah.
So that's the whole benefit. And I drill this into the mentees. I'm like, it's only a 6-month process. Then you can stop making the phone calls, but you've got to put the work in at the front end.
Yeah.
You can't just expect to have an established brand straight away.
No, 100%. And it's one of those businesses where a lot of people don't know about. So by you telling people, just like people randomly in the gym, just like we just sat in the sauna, just having a general chat about like, the day-to-day activities, what people have been up to, and what sessions you've been doing in the gym. And it just led on to, I've got a property you might be interested in. Yeah, so I met the landlord in the steam room, had a chat, he loved the idea, on board, the work.
Yeah, downstairs is one person that needs care. Yeah. He's pretty much got the whole downstairs.
Yeah.
And the workers, there's 4 workers, isn't there? Yeah,
there's going to be 4 workers, 2 on each shift. So it's a 2-to-1 ratio, so he's quite high complex needs. So there's always going to be 2 members of staff in this property at all times, 2 in the day, 2 in the night.
Do you know how the social housing provider are funded? Are they funded through council or government backed or?
Yeah, both, potentially both, depending on what provider it is. The money essentially comes from the government to the councils, and then they dish out to the providers who are needed for it.
So are you absolutely filling a gap, ticking a box in terms of where does the provider see the value in you? Is it why can't they find a property like this themselves?
Yeah, I mean, the amount of people we spoke to, the amount of providers that we spoke to, they say exactly the same thing every time. They've got a couple of properties and they're doing really, really well, but ultimately they have to scale because of the amount of demand that's in the country, not just in the area. But the one thing they've been struggling with is finding the properties or having the time to make the calls to agents or landlords and building up the network or just that relationship to get these properties on board, which is what me and Dan have essentially done for the last year.
Yeah, so that's the gap you're filling, isn't it?
Yeah, massive, yeah.
So a lot of people see, you're taking a house away from the market. So why did the landlord want to go with you as opposed to rent to a family?
But he's rented to a family before, and just not long before he got here, actually, we was talking about it, and he said they absolutely wrecked the place. He said, I had to put so much money back into the property. And he said, it's this home to him, he said he has more of a connection to it than just a standard buy-to-let because him and his family used to live here when they first bought it. He said, so he's got that attachment to it as well. He said, when the family moved in after we moved out, he said, and they trashed it. He said, it broke my heart. He said, it just broke my heart. He said, to have something come along with you guys to say, like, they have to look after the property because they're CQC, the council are inspecting.
Well, it's a business contract as well. The moment they breach it, kaboom.
Exactly that. It's a business contract. The council are going to be inspecting this property on a regular basis. They literally have to keep this property up to scratch at all times, especially for children's homes, high complex needs, service users who are living here.
So it's a win-win-win.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's a win for you and Dan because you've structured the deal and you're going to profit for the next X amount of years for doing nothing. Like just sit back and let the whole thing pan out.
Yeah.
But you've put it together. The landlord wins because he hasn't got to deal with a potential tenant like that again. And his investment is going to be looked after and it's guaranteed rent. Like purely guaranteed.
Yeah.
And then on the provider side, you've provided an amazing property that they can work with to care for another user.
Yeah, exactly that.
Everybody wins.
Yeah. He made me laugh actually. The landlord, just before he left, he was like, gave me the keys and he was like, so is that it? I was like, that's it. He's like, what, I don't have to do nothing else? I was like, no, that's it. I said, let me know when you want your inspection or you want to come along and meet the provider, whatever you want to do. I said, but yeah, that's it.
See you in 5 years.
See you in 5 years. And exactly that. And then that's the value that we bring.
Yeah.
It's like educating people, sat in a steam room, just talking about the benefits of it. Gone from that to, there's the keys, see you later, see you in 5 years' time.
Yeah.
And so he loves it.
Dan's on holiday right now, isn't he?
Dan's in Portugal.
We did just try calling him, but he's obviously in the pool. But how is he, he's on holiday and a deal's happened.
Yeah.
That's amazing, but he's gutted he's not here, isn't he?
He's fuming he's not here, yeah.
All the work that you guys put in the background and then he's not here to see it.
But that's it, he doesn't necessarily have to be here.
Yeah.
It's the hard work has been done from speaking about it, negotiating it, emails, viewings, the hard work's been done. So this bit it just flows itself. You don't necessarily need to be here.
Because we're going to have to get going soon. That's it.
Yeah.
You're out of the deal.
Yeah, that's it.
It's just done.
I've just spent the last 3 hours here just chatting to the landlord, getting some certificates up together, and just checking, doing an inventory. That's it. And I've just got to wait till 3:30 for the provider to turn up, take the keys over, and that is it. That's how easy it is.
Yeah.
But you have to put in that work. In the first 6 months, if you're lucky enough to get a deal, then good on you, man. That's amazing. But
do not book a call with me. Do not go to my website and book a call with me if you think this is easy, right? You have to do the work. This doesn't just, you make 10 phone calls and a deal lands on your lap. No. So please don't book a call with me. I get a lot of people booking calls with me that just think this is an automatic thing that just happens. You're going to call the council, you're going to call 2 landlords and get a deal. You're not willing to do the work, don't book a call with me.
Especially with like supported living as well, because there's so many moving parts. It's not just a case of agent, you got the demand, you make an offer, you fill it. You need to know the ins and outs of the provider, who they care for, why they care for them, how much can you afford each month, is there a rent cap? And
that's essentially what a mentorship and a mentor comes into, like, to play, right? To teach you all of the ropes and walk you through it and guide you from A to Z. As opposed to just...
there's like housing providers and things like that they need to know, are they backed by a housing provider? What housing provider are they?
The reference checks on a housing provider.
Reference checks. It's not just a case of find a property they look for or they want.
Yeah, and call the council.
And call the council. That's not the case at all.
Yeah, that's not the case.
It's definitely not the case. But it takes a lot longer to get a property over the line, even though we've got 3 in the last couple of months. It's just been an exceptional month, to be fair.
Yeah, but you're on 8 properties inside 2 years, right? So most people are waiting for retirement, and that could be 25, 30 years away. Where if you just work hard for 2 years, you're financially free.
Absolutely smash it for 2 years.
Build
your network up, get that relationship up and running with landlords.
I had an 8-year plan. Mine was 8 years to become financially free. And I thought, even if I do that, I'd buy back 27 years on the average man. Great return on investment. Work my ass off for 8 years. Become financially free. 27 years in front of who I carry on being. And I'd done it in 18 months. I
had, for my employment job, 65 was my retirement age. So I'm thinking, well, why?
Yeah, but it's not fixed. It moves. It's now 67.
100%, yeah,
we were
exactly
talking
that.
Yesterday, it's going up to 84.
So I've got all that time.
84.
To instead of making someone else rich, to make myself rich, but why I'll just put in that time. X amount of years, 26, 27 years to put in that time.
Well, even if you don't reach riches, it's time, right?
100%.
Buying back your own time is, you can't buy time.
Picking my kids up from school later on.
I
wouldn't be able to do that if I was on days working or nights, whatever I was doing.
You were on nights for 16 years.
16 years.
16 years.
Yeah, I know. You can see the grey hair now and the stress of it all, but
it's mad.
But no, it's good. It's obviously partnered out with Dan, and since partnered out with Dan, the business has just scaled massively. There's just 2 heads are better than 1. And we live so close to each other, it just makes sense.
It was a no-brainer anyway.
Otherwise we've been
the same work ethic.
Dan's on it all the time. I'm on it all the time. So this month has been really, really busy, but it doesn't really come to any surprise when we put in the work that we have been doing. And again, our pipeline is massively full as well. So we've just sent the contracts out to another property, and we've got another coming up as well, another viewing, stacked with viewings next week as well. So
you're still plugged into Rise Up, the network, right? So how is the mentorship still for you, even though you're kind of an elite level?
Mentorship is vital, massively vital. You got a huge community there, network of people where they're doing exactly the same as you, or they want to do what you're doing, and they just give you the questions, or they want to know the answers to. It's great, and I wouldn't be here today without the mentorship. 100%, definitely not. There's other companies out there, isn't there? But you don't get the same level of value as what you get with Rise Up.
Agreed. Even though it's my company.
But you don't get it. You don't get that support. You don't get, you give a question over to Dan, he's on it straight away. Even before I was partnered up with him, I was asking him things about properties that I was going out and viewed, even though he went out and viewed it before. But even if he's not in my area, you just don't get the same level of support as I know you would get with other companies. And that's what I wanted, that's what I needed, is that hand holding for the first few months, just to see, because this is all new, that was all new to me. But to have that level of support was definitely what I needed.
Yeah, amazing. So how has it changed your life? Like, how does your family see it now?
Yeah, Mrs. is out of work. She works for me now.
She works for me now.
Yeah. She works for me. She's out of employment. kids see a lot more of me. So yeah, we're just building up that.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, just to have that time where I know I can pick the kids up from school or go to a sports day or do just anything, go out for meals, and I don't have to, I've got work in a couple of hours or I've got to book annual leave. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. And you can get rich, can't you? But time is what I really wanted.
Yeah.
And I've got time.
Yeah.
Now I can go get rich.
Well done, bro. Super proud of you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
mate.
well done.
Appreciate it.
Put in the work. Keep going.
I will.
Keep going.
Yeah, have to.